Diversity in Star Wars. Let's talk about it. Hello there, welcome to another video. Before we get into it, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you never miss a single video that we do. Now, let's get into it. Diversity in Star Wars. This is talked about a whole lot, especially recently, which it's honestly talked about way too much. I mean, it's kind of a big deal in all media, but especially in Star Wars. There's a Star Wars channel, so of course I'm gonna talk about Star Wars. So, the other week I made a video about John Boyega basically saying that Star Wars fans don't like when black characters are put in Star Wars, and that Star Wars is so white that it's weird when someone who isn't white is put inside of the universe. I had a big problem with this. I didn't like what he said because it was kind of implying that the majority of Star Wars fans are racist and don't want to see anyone other than white people in Star Wars. Now, of course, there are people like that who exist. They exist in every medium. However, I will never, ever say that it is the majority, especially when it comes to Star Wars fans. I have been in this fandom ever since I was a kid, and I know that. But as far as diversity in Star Wars, the number one thing I would say is it should never, ever take the place of writing a good character. I would absolutely love to see more black characters created in Star Wars, but definitely not at the expense of downplaying or discrediting original legacy characters, or just to shoehorn in characters just to say, hey, we have a black character in this TV show or movie. The number one and number two examples that I use is always Finn and Reva. And it's funny because if their roles were switched, I think this would have worked a lot. Hear me out. Finn was clickbaited as being the main character. In all of the posters, he had the lightsaber. He was the first one shown in the first trailer. Everybody, including myself, assumed he would be the main character. Then later on in the trilogy, they more than sidelined him. They didn't have a plan, and they kind of just ruined his character. Everyone wanted to see more of him, but they refused to give it to us and made his character basically irrelevant. And then you look at Reva's character. It's literally the complete opposite. We were clickbaited as thinking that this was going to be a show about Obi-Wan and Anakin, the main characters of Star Wars that everyone wanted to see, and then they took Reva and put her at the forefront of it. Just a side note, I think if Reva had her own TV show about Inquisitors and she was the main character, I think that would have been highly successful and that she wouldn't have got even half of the ridicule that she did. The main problem that people had is that they put her in front of the two characters that are the two main characters of the prequels, and they just kind of threw her in front, and that was it, when that's not what anyone was coming to see. But if you think about it, if you switched what happened to Finn and Reva as far as their character goes, I think they both would have been very much better off. Now, let me say this. I do think representation is important. However, I think that should be on the back burner, at the back of people's minds, when creating a show or character. When I grew up, you couldn't tell me that I wasn't Anakin Skywalker. I didn't connect to Mace Windu because he was black. I connected to Anakin Skywalker. Then, when the Clone Wars came out, I very strongly connected to Ahsoka. And to this day, they are both my number one and number two favorite characters in all of Star Wars. And look at them. I am a black man, and one is a white man, and the other is a female alien. And those are the characters I connected to the most. And I would say that that is the majority of people. I'm not saying representation means nothing and that it's not cool to see people who look like you in Star Wars, but make a good character first. Make someone that people want to connect with, and stop throwing in people of color in your content just to waste their character, because honestly, that is way more insulting than not having any people of color in at all. But what do you guys think? I just wanted to talk about this because it's been making the rounds in the Star Wars fandom again. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and subscribe to my other channel, Stop Motion Commotion. I post fan films on that channel every single month. But that's all I got for you guys today. Bye.